Trust no one in your group chat.
For what is a man? What has
Is nothing sacred? You can't even joke about gassing the Jews and killing your political opponent's kids anymore without some loser leaking it to the world.
Now, where's he going? I don't know. Maybe he's going to the bathroom or some shit. Man, he's going in there to snitch on us.
I told you I wanted their kids to die in confidence. Those messages were between me, you, Google, the FBI, the NSA, China, the Russian trollbots, ChatGPT, Peter Thiel, Palantir, Satan, and the other 15 people from work in the chat, along with all of their spouses. Although I'm pretty sure none of the young Republicans have spouses. Look, I don't know about you, but I don't want to live in America where you can't make off-color Holocaust jokes. I actually don't want to live in America where you can't do that, right?
Yeah, I want to be able to make Holocaust jokes. Who doesn't?
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your Dumpster Fire. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we make burgers out of your sacred cows. We premiere new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central. Please join us in the chat. If you want to keep track of everything we do, the best way is to go to Phetasy.com to see all the content we're churning out, which is a lot. Some might say too much.
Too many notes, Your Majesty.
Exactly. Very well put. Too many notes.
Virginia Attorney General candidate Jay Jones continues to face scrutiny for texts in which he said that Republicans should get bullets in the head. In other texts, Jones made clear his philosophy that, as he says, only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. I mean, call me crazy, but I always thought that meant like more expensive gas, not murdering their children.
Democrats, am I right?
I love that he's just facing scrutiny too, and not, massive calls to step down. A race he lost in 2020, by the way. That's right. This is his second attempt, and he shows no sign of dropping out or even saying sorry. He's saying nothing. In fact, not even, no, I don't want to watch your children die in your arms. It's crazy to me that these texts came out on the heels of Charlie Kirk being shot, and everyone is just crickets. I mean, it's not that crazy. It's just really disheartening. I mean, it's not so much disheartening as it is Thursday in the discourse in America in 2025.
Accurate.
The party of Jay Jones is also silent on the matter. Again, not even saying so much as, we like Jay Jones, though we do disagree on the issue of murdering children. Well, born children. Though you can't cut their genitals off.
obviously?
Check out Jones's running mate, Abigail Spanberger, who looks more like Abigail Asperger in this video.
Would it take him pulling the trigger? Is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail? You're running to be governor.
Like crazy. This is the craziest video I've seen, and I've seen videos of Hamas going on murder sprees. You can see her doing the math in her head. Sure, my completely awkward silence will lose me 1,000 voters, but if I acknowledge what Jay Jones said, I'll lose 5,000 voters. And you know what? She's probably right, even though she looks like a retard in the debate.
I'm retarded?
She's proving a point that many of us already know. Society is not okay with you calling yourself or your colleagues out. They're far more okay with you simply pretending you didn't hear them ask about it. And to be clear, this isn't about right or wrong. Clearly, what's right is to be against child murder. Again, born child murder. But questions like right and wrong, that never even comes into their brain. This is strategy, tactics, and the quiet knowledge that a ton of their base read Jay Jones's text and thought, you know what? He didn't go far enough. When are we going to elect someone with bigger balls than this?
I say your 3-cent titanium tax goes too far. And I say your 3-cent titanium tax doesn't go too far enough.
Things are worse than ever now when it comes to this non-apology form of politics, but this is actually a very old idea. There's an urban legend that's been around since the 60s that Lyndon Johnson tried to spread a rumor that his opponent was having sex with a pig. Johnson's aide said, "Christ, Lyndon, we can't just call the guy a pig f***er. It isn't true." And Johnson replied back, "But I want to make this son of a bitch deny it." And there it is. That idea has stuck around in politics for decades and has reached a point where all anyone is waiting for is for their opponent to deny something or, God forbid, apologize. Because once they do either of those things, they're f***ed as a million ads come crashing down on top of them. We have made a world where politicians think, that apologizing is political suicide. People face greater destruction by apologizing than by saying nothing. Think about all the people who got canceled. Now ask yourself which ones are still able to have any influence at all. The ones who apologized or the ones who laughed it off and ignored the criticism?
Because I don't care either.
At the source of all of this strife is a fear of offering any humility or regret, which is a direct result of cancel culture. And whether we like it or not, just about everybody has adopted Trump's style of politics, which is to respond with, "F*** you."
I'm gonna come.
This is truly why I voted for Trump. The fact that people feel like it's okay to talk to one another about this, whether it's at a dinner table or whether it's in text, just saying, like, the discourse is so murderous right now. But the fact that this is something that someone on the left can say and everybody just basically goes, meh, whatever. Like, they'll just let it slide directly after someone was literally murdered.
What?
Before we get to our next segment, don't forget to like, subscribe, touch my bells and buttons, and tell your friends about us. We did hit 100,000. You are waiting for your Mexican weather report, some of you, and it's coming. We're shooting it in we're shooting it in a week, actually. So stay tuned for that. You will get all of the stuff. It will be its own video. You have to stick around through the ad to see the weather report, guys. Sorry, them's the rules. You all know how much I love my Bon Charge. Getting older, it's not fun. That's why I love my Bon Charge red light face mask. I use it for 10 minutes every night, and you can use it while you're doing whatever, watching TV, grilling, cooking a meal. But for me, it's my me time. It's the 10 minutes I can actually stop, breathe, relax, be quiet. The red light mask boosts collagen and elastin production and helps get rid of those fine lines and wrinkles and even my sunspot. And it also helps with sore jaw, eczema, migraines, acne, scar tissue, wound healing, razor burn, and even ingrown facial hair. My skin looks younger and glowing, and it just helps me feel fresh and amazing. And again, that 10 minutes is a nice reset anytime during the day. Go to boncharge.com/Bridget and use the coupon code Bridget to save 15%. That's BONCHARGE.com/Bridget and use the coupon code Bridget to save 15% off your entire order. There's a link in the description below. Holidays are coming, and this is a great gift. Now let's check the weather with ChatGPT.
Buenos días, feliz viernes. Hoy tenemos un panorama mayormente soleado para el oeste del país. En Los Ángeles la máxima será de 23 grados y en San Diego alcanzará los 25.
Thank you, ChatGPT. Speaking of political losers, Politico published leaked Telegram chats showing young Republican leaders trading racist slurs and celebrating threats of rape, torture, and mass violence while jockeying for leadership and also just being the most based. Now, when you see pictures of them, there's been many jokes on the internet of people saying it's always these people who look in the mirror and say, now I'm the master race. They're fat. For those of you listening on any kind of audio, they look like fat lesbians.
Yeah, I'm like, can't you just form a D&D group or something? Politics has ruined everything. Wasn't one of them had something about I love Hitler, and I all I could think about was if anybody could use a little time in the camps, it's these people.
We're going to send you up to a weight management retreat.
Fat camp?
Yes, fat camp.
If I've learned anything from years of doing comedy, watching SJWs online and off, and now this, It's that fat people truly can get away with saying whatever they want. The rest of us, though, we don't get this kind of permission slip, do we? I'm not going to read all of these texts line by line, and some of them probably were just in jest, but just know that they made several racial comments, including use of the N-word, referring to black people as monkeys, and raping their political opponents. Now, I don't know about you, Jaron, and maybe I don't want to know the truth about this, but I've never been in a group chat that even in jest referred to black people as monkeys. You don't have to incriminate yourself, but I never have been. I've also never been in a group chat where people were praising Hitler, not ironically, or ironically.
I see good things about Hitler also.
And I definitely haven't been in a group chat where people were talking about raping their political opponents. But that's just me. I mean, maybe this is like the based young, Gen Z and alphas. But I think these guys are all like millennials.
Never been in a group chat, so don't really have.
Jaren's never been in a group chat. It does not surprise me at all. Jaren's like, do not fucking add me.
Yep, please.
In any of your goddamn group chats. He's smart. This is how you get in trouble. But I haven't been in a group chat like this. And I think a lot of these guys who are defending this and also trying to defend themselves by saying, oh, this is just like every group chat, are telling on themselves. And they're also overestimating how many normal Americans are in group chats like this. I don't think it's as many as they think. I'm fascinated by this because it's really just highlighted more of what's been going on since Charlie Kirk was shot, which is essentially a civil war in the right. Apparently, Charlie Kirk was the glue that held the right together. This was a moment when you should have had the right uniting like they'd never united before. This is a clear, Occam's razor would tell you that this is a leftist who is radicalized, who killed him. This was a clear moment, and instead people have hijacked this moment and they've tried to make it about themselves, about getting clicks, and blaming his widow and Turning Point USA and all of the people that would have to lie to make something like this true other than what we know. The prosecutor who filed the charges, literally local, state, federal, Trump. I mean, everyone would have to be in on this.
It's wild. Once you start to realize that most of these people are entertainers and performers, and not really true believers, and they're just LARPing as white nationalists or conservative Christians, then it starts to make a lot more sense.
There's a big civil war about whether or not these guys should be canceled because, as we just mentioned in the last segment, the left makes no apologies. They don't disavow anybody who threatens to kill their political opponents. It's crickets or just NPC stares that are deeply disturbing to me.
Can pulling the trigger, is that what would do it? And then you would say he needs to get out of the race? Abigail, you have nothing to say? Abigail, what if he said it about your 3 children? Is that when you would say he should get out of the race, Abigail?
The other thing that's interesting about this moment is it does feel like the left is forcing all these people to walk into a trap. Malice was saying this on Real America a few weeks ago, Michael Malice. He said a lot of these people are just running their mouths and they're letting them run their mouths and they're letting them be as crazy and racist and based as they want to be. And they're going to force these people into defending them. And then they're going to use it against them in 2026 and 2028. Which you saw play out a bit after Politico launched these group chats. A lot of conservatives were like Matt Walsh and JD Vance came out and they were like, I don't think we should be paying attention to this. They were the fight. Like, we're going to fight fire with fire. We should be staying focused. They just killed Charlie Kirk. They aren't disavowing. And by the way, I agree with all this, although I don't agree with them calling these people kids. They're not kids. isn't part of the whole thing on the right that this is the longhouse and we've been infantilizing men and that they are being treated like they're children for far too long? Am I wrong? Isn't that like a whole thing that we've heard from JD Vance and Matt Walsh? But you're going to call them kids? The right sounds like the left did when they were defending Mike Brown. They were like, he's a child. It's like he was a 6'5", 19-year-old. Mike Brown was younger than these guys. They're like in their 30s. I believe one of them was even in their 40s. Can we not call them kids? I take the biggest offense to that of all the things is calling these fat adult men kids. I don't want the right to become so right that they're wrong. I don't want to see them using, as I said on Twitter, you're going to go out there and if you can't disavow the worst part of your party, you're going to end up like the left, which is in disarray. And by the way, they lost and they're still losing and they can't seem to get their shit together other than Mamdani in New York. But as I just went over, the left handles their texting scandals by just staring vacantly, and that seems to work just fine. So the temptation to say, F you, I get it. It makes sense. I mean, honestly, no one on the right even knew who these guys were, although they are working in Republican staffs and whatnot. Like, this is why I'm of two minds about this. How else can you fight back if not by using the same tactics that are being used against you? One of the problems in this fight in America, and the reason that we've shifted right as a country, is because the left, as I wrote in my recent essay on Spectator, but the left just, there's no too far left. You can just go, and they will use your values against you. Oh, you believe in free speech? They will use all of the high road against you if you even try and take it.
I'm condemned to use the tools of my enemy.
I mean, to be fair, the right has tried every other method. The guy who came in like the f***ing Kool-Aid man through the frickin' wall.
Oh, crap. Did I miss it? Oh, yeah.
Donald Trump is the one that somehow managed to start getting wins and also won part of the culture back. So it starts to become a question of whether fighting fire with fire is the only way. And I don't necessarily like that. I don't like canceling. I don't like malicious prosecution, but they do seem to be effective. And I know that the left will use them whenever they need to. Here's the issue, and this is what I struggle with, that this is allegedly and especially recently the party of Christianity. Remember the revival we just covered? Probably not, because none of you watched that video. But look, I'm all for it. And when you are saying that you are the party of Christianity, there are some well-known truths, like that even when you're being crucified, you still hold on to your principles and trust that God will handle it.
Can I come live with you and Janet for a while?
Oh, wow, kiddo. I'd love that, but I don't know if now is the best time. Maybe next year, okay?
There is nothing about fairness in Christianity. And in fact, fairness is a very commie value, and fighting fire with fire is about feeling like it's fair, which you might recognize as you being the judge of what is and isn't good, which you may recall as being the fall of man in the Garden of Eden. I've learned some things.
Preach.
I don't know what you come to do, but I come to praise the name.
You see why I'm surprised to see the right embrace this ideology? I don't love it. I mean, if anything, Jesus and God warned that Christians would suffer. That's all I learned in Catholicism growing up, was that I would suffer. And never forget that at the end of this whole story is a beast that rules the world during 1,000 years of darkness or something. But then, of course, it's hard to hold to that ideal when you're fighting people who are willing to murder you and your children. And if they're willing to murder, and you aren't even willing to defend yourself, if it involves killing, you're destined to lose. So do what's right all the time without attachment to the outcome is trust. It's literally faith. And it seems like we're failing it constantly. And it also almost ensures that it will be our demise and probably the demise of the West. This is the fight Charlie was fighting. And he talks a lot about God and justice. And as I've watched more of his videos, I've come to contemplate and understand this battle more clearly. And I think we see it playing out, actually, in the right now. God isn't only in control if Trump wins. He isn't going to see a Democrat win and say, oh my me, what am I going to do now? He's in control or he's not.
It's a great God impression, by the way. Exactly how I imagine God to sound in my head.
So I'd be like, oh my me. I also love, a lot of people were like, see, this is what happens when the left leaves X, the right basically tears itself apart because the right doesn't have anyone to dunk on, so they have to dunk on each other. And they're over in Blue Sky going, let them fight, ha ha.
Let them fight.
It doesn't mean you won when you watch two strong people fighting each other and sat on the sidelines. And it doesn't mean you're going to win the next battle either. They're over here getting stronger, testing their ideas, duking it out. I think it's healthy for the party. Having this discussion is good. It's actually good for the right. It's good to even acknowledge it. And by the way, there are way more people acknowledging the crazy on the right than there are on the left. Let us just say there is a battle on the right happening right now because there are so many people on the right who are saying, fuck that. I'm not standing with Myron Gaines, who's like, we love Hitler, bro. Just get over it. You guys are too online. Normies are going to see that shit and they are going to run in the other direction, which leads me to my final thought. This is how we get President Rogan.
or AOC if
probably AOC because let's be real, a third party is never going to win in this country. As you see people who are like, well, I'm not going there because they're still transing the kids and they're still fine with that and still silent about killing political opponents and all the reasons that people like me left the left. And then they go to the right and they're like, well, this is not cool either. I'm not down. I'm not okay with people gambling with Jewish lives. I'm not okay with blatant anti-Semitism, the misogyny that's dripping from all of these losers who live in their mom's basements, all of the white nationalism. You guys had a coalition of multi-ethnic working class people who voted for Trump in numbers you had never seen before because Trump understands the normie. And you are going to squander it. As I've said many times before about America, and I have written about, the default ideology is but the right. The right that everyone is afraid of is exactly what we're seeing. The Nazis, the white nationalists, the guys who are like, I want to rape your women and children or whatever. All this shit is what instinctively people on the left have been trained to be terrified of. And the minute normie Karens see this, by the way, as the trans thing comes down, which is how you got the normie suburban mom. So as that threat comes down, because yay, we did it. But as that recedes, you're going to see people going, that's fucking crazy too. And I think it's much easier for them to snap back to a like moderately sane leftist or even just a leftist than whatever the that is. My most toxic Gen X trait is life does not owe you anything. And neither does America. Life isn't fair, bro.
Who told you you should be happy? You've come to an age where you must grow up and be responsible about such things.
Like, I didn't grow up thinking I was owed a house. Like, I get Gen Z's frustration because in some ways things are harder and worse. So I'm not denying their lived experience, which is what they all get mad about when I do. But I am going to tell you, you have to fucking work, and it's not going to, like, everyone was poor in their 20s. Why do you think you need to be rich and have a house in your 20s? This is how you get President Rogan, because honestly, I do think if somebody with a big enough brand name ran as an independent party, as the right starts to have a civil war and the left is still just disgusting, that someone like Rogan could win. You all know how much I love this sponsor and how much I love talking about my husband's balls on dumpster fire. My husband will not wear any other underwear now. It's all just perfectly folded sheath underwear. The patented dual pouch system is revolutionary. It cradles your balls lovingly in their own pouch. And then there's a separate pouch for the genitalia, and it keeps everything separate from the legs, so you're nice and comfortable and nothing is sticking together. They are high quality. They can be worn as boxers or briefs, moisture wicking, keeping everything cool and separated, comfortable materials. You all know I don't promote stuff I don't believe in. Everyone who tries this underwear swears they'll never go back to. There's also a women's line, which I live in at home. They've got cute booty shorts, and they're moisture wicking and balance your pH, so you stay nice and fresh down there. And they're always releasing new styles and patterns, and the holidays are coming up, so check them out. Buy the greatest underwear that's ever graced the balls of your man or your brother or whoever in your life needs underwear. Sheath Underwear, the underwear of legends. Go to sheath.com and use a promo code DUMPSTER to get 20% off your next order. That's sheath.com, promo code DUMPSTER to get 20% off. There's a link in the description below. All right. Well, I mean, I feel better. I got a lot off my chest. This is all the stuff I'm contemplating. If you love Dumpster Fire, the best thing you can do is become a paid supporter at Phetasy.com. You get the unedited version of this Dumpster Fire, and we leave a lot of inappropriate things on the cutting room floor. Probably a good chunk of this episode. You also get access to everything else we're doing, like factory settings with my husband, and it's a lot. Join us on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Central for a new Dumpster Fire. Thank you to everyone who helps make Dumpster Fire possible. Thank you, Ben, Kevin, Better Phetasy, and Marlene. Thank you to Sheath and Bond Charge for sponsoring today's episode. And thank you to all of you. We love you. We love wrestling. You know what I also love? You guys are fucking baddies, and you can handle not agreeing with me all the time. And thank you, Jaron.
Thank you, Bridget.
And now to cleanse your palate, the internet is glorious!
Since if there's a red tube video of my girlfriend slapping me and choking me and riding me, that shouldn't be an indication that I'm going to lack leadership in a work situation.
Yeah, but Duncan, it's going to be hard to convince an employer who's masturbating to that video otherwise.
Exactly. My potential employer might see all those videos of my husband tying me up and having his way with me, and then they're going to think that I'm not going to be assertive enough for the job.
I mean, these days, everyone has an Xtube account. It's your own fault if you lose out on a job because you've got tons of videos on the web where you're slowly inserting various household objects into your anus.
Yeah, but what if you're shoving those things in your anus on your own time?
But let's be smart about it. You know, if you know an employer might see this, post a video of yourself getting double teamed by two brawny Latinos to show your support of diversity in the workplace.
Oh, and multitasking.
But I still want to have the right to badmouth my employer while shooting a POV hand job without fear of affecting my future prospects for work.
If you don't want to jeopardize the content of your porn, you can always shoot from the eyes down.
Oh, but that's not the same if you cover the eyes. That's where the innocence is.
Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. Take the work seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. This has been your Dumpster Fire. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich so I can have a producer and my poor husband doesn't have to do this.
And the unicorns dance while the world burns, world burns.